Good morning, everyone. I want to talk about something that shapes our lives more than we often realize, and that is time. As a girl growing up in this fast, moving world, I've learned that time is one of the most precious gifts we have. Unlike money, clothes, or even energy, once time is gone, it can never be brought back. Every minute that passes is a part of our story that we can never rewrite, which is why respecting our time is so important. Respecting time doesn't only mean being punctual or sticking to a schedule. It also means recognizing that our time has value. When we spend hours on things that don't add meaning, growth, or happiness, we are silently telling ourselves that our time is not worth much. But when we use our moments wisely, we prove that our lives are valuable and that we deserve to live with purpose. For me, respecting time also means respecting myself. If I allow endless distractions to take over my days, I feel restless and unfulfilled. But when I plan carefully, prioritize what truly matters, and dedicate myself to meaningful goals, I feel proud and empowered. Time is like a mirror of our choices. It reflects what we value most. Many girls often hear others tell us to wait, to be patient, to not rush. And yes, patience is a virtue, but patience doesn't mean wasting time or putting our dreams on hold. It means using our time wisely while trusting the process. It means focusing on what we can do now instead of waiting for someone else to give us permission to shine. Sometimes respecting time also means saying no. No to toxic friendships, no to unnecessary drama, no to things that drain our energy but give us nothing back. By saying no to what doesn't serve us, we are saying yes to our growth, our peace, and our future. Time spent in self-love, learning, and building dreams is never wasted. When I look at role models who inspire me, one common thing I notice is how they respected their time. They didn't let procrastination or excuses hold them back. They valued their minutes and hours, and eventually those small steps turned into huge achievements. That teaches me that even if I start small today, as long as I keep respecting my time, I can create something big tomorrow. So, respecting time is not just about discipline, it's about love. Love for our future, love for our dreams, and love for ourselves. If we as girls respect our time, we can turn it into power, into confidence, and into success. Time once lost can never be regained, so every moment is valuable. This simple truth is something we all know deep down, yet we often forget it in the rush of daily life. Time is like water slipping through our fingers. Once it flows away, there is no way to bring it back, no matter how much we wish we could. Every second that passes becomes part of our past, and no matter how powerful or wealthy someone is, they cannot purchase even a single moment once it has gone. That is why it is said that time is more precious than gold, because gold can be found, earned, saved, and spent again, but time never repeats itself. If we take this reality seriously, we realize that wasting time is equal to wasting a part of our life, and that makes us more conscious of how we spend each moment. When we look around, it becomes clear how easily people take time for granted. We scroll endlessly on phones, sit idle without purpose, or delay important work thinking there will always be more time tomorrow. But tomorrow is not promised, and even if it comes, the hours lost today cannot be borrowed back. Every tick of the clock is a reminder that our life is moving forward, whether we are using it wisely or not. Some people only realize the value of time when it is too late, when opportunities have passed, when youth has faded, or when they look back with regret at the hours they let slip away without meaning. Respecting time means avoiding this regret by learning to treasure the present and to act with awareness. Time is also valuable because it shapes our future. The way we use our time today decides the kind of life we will live tomorrow. If we spend it in learning, in building skills, in nurturing relationships, and in taking care of ourselves, then our future will be brighter and more rewarding. On the other hand, if we let time go in laziness, in complaining, in wasting energy on things that do not matter, then we are silently closing the door to many opportunities. Successful people are not necessarily the most talented or the most intelligent, but they are often the ones who value their time and use it effectively. They treat each day like a chance to take one step closer to their dreams, and slowly, those small steps add up to something remarkable. Another reason why every moment is valuable is because time defines our memories. The special moments we share with family, friends, or within ourselves become the treasure of our hearts. These moments are created not by waiting, but by choosing to give our time to people and activities that matter. When we choose to spend time with loved ones, when we dedicate time to our passions, when we pause to appreciate life, those moments never fade. They turn into memories that stay with us forever. But if we let time slip without creating these experiences, we are left with emptiness instead of joy. Respecting time, therefore, also means respecting the people we love and the experiences we want to cherish. Time also teaches us discipline. If we do not value it, life becomes disorganized and stressful. Think of someone who wastes time every day by delaying tasks until the last moment. Their life becomes filled with pressure, panic, and missed chances. But a person who respects time by being punctual, responsible, and focused feels more peaceful and confident. Respecting time does not mean we should never rest or relax. It means we should rest with purpose, knowing that relaxation itself is also a valuable use of time when it helps us regain energy. The balance between work, rest, and joy comes only when we know that each hour counts and must not be wasted carelessly. In many ways, time is the silent teacher of life. It teaches patience when we have to wait. It teaches humility when moments of youth pass away, and it teaches us the power of now. The fact that time cannot be stopped is what makes life meaningful. If time was endless, we would never value it, but because it is limited, it becomes precious. A flower blooms for only a short while, yet that is what makes it beautiful. Our time too is limited, and that is what makes it valuable beyond measure. Each moment is like a seed, and the way we use it decides what kind of fruit it will bear in the future. Some people plant seeds of growth, learning, and kindness, and later they enjoy a garden of success and love. Others waste their seeds, and when they look back, they find nothing but empty soil. Respecting time is therefore not only about personal success, it is also about living with awareness and gratitude. Every morning when we wake up, we are given a gift of 24 hours. How we use those hours is up to us. We can choose to waste them, or we can choose to shape them into something meaningful. Each minute holds potential, each hour can carry change, and each day is a chance to create something new. When we begin to respect time in this way, life itself becomes richer, fuller, and more purposeful. Respecting time means respecting yourself and your dreams. When we think about time, we often imagine it as something outside of us, something that just passes by while we live our lives. But the truth is that how we treat time reflects how we treat ourselves. If we waste our hours carelessly, it is like telling ourselves that our life is not worth much. On the other hand, when we use time wisely, when we guard it as something precious, we are showing respect to our own existence, our abilities, and our future. Time is the space in which our dreams can either grow or fade, and the way we manage it decides whether those dreams ever become real. Every person has dreams, whether big or small. Some dream of achieving success in studies, some dream of building a career, some dream of creating art, traveling, or living with joy and peace. All of these dreams need time because nothing can be built overnight. But if we do not respect our time, if we allow distractions, laziness, or unnecessary activities to take over, those dreams remain only as thoughts in our minds. To respect yourself means to believe that your dreams deserve attention, and the only way to give them attention is by giving them your time. Every hour you dedicate to your dream is an act of self-respect. There are many people who underestimate themselves because they do not see progress in their lives. They compare themselves to others who are ahead and start to feel small. But often the difference is not talent or luck, it is simply the way each person uses their time. Someone who respects their time and dedicates even a little of it daily towards their goal will eventually move forward. Someone who wastes it waiting for the perfect moment or living without discipline will remain where they are. This is why respecting time is equal to respecting your own potential. You cannot expect your dreams to respect you if you do not respect the time required to achieve them. Self-respect also comes from setting boundaries with time. If you constantly give away your time to things that do not align with your dreams, you are ignoring your own needs. Respecting time means saying no when necessary, choosing wisely where to invest your energy, and realizing that your time is as valuable as anyone else's. For example, if you spend hours pleasing people who do not value you or engaging in activities that leave you empty, you are telling yourself that your time is not worth much. But when you use those same hours to study, practice, work on your goals, or even rest for your well-being, you are sending yourself the message that you are important. When you respect your time, you start to feel more confident and stronger. There is a sense of pride in knowing that you are not letting your life slip away aimlessly. Each day becomes an opportunity to show love to yourself by investing in what matters. Whether it is improving a skill, building a healthy habit, or simply staying committed to something meaningful, all of it reflects that you value who you are. This self-respect is not about arrogance. It is about quietly knowing that your life has worth and that you are giving your best to honor it. Dreams are fragile when they are only in our imagination, but they become powerful when we give them time. Respecting time is what transforms them from ideas into achievements. For instance, if someone dreams of becoming an artist, spending even 1 hour a day drawing or painting is an act of respect toward that dream. If someone wants to excel in studies, every focused moment of learning is respect for that future. Little by little, these small pieces of time add up and create something bigger. People who look successful today are often those who respected their time yesterday, even when no one was watching. Another part of respecting time is not letting excuses steal it away. Excuses like "I will do it tomorrow" or "I don't feel like it now" are ways of disrespecting both your time and yourself. Every time you postpone what is important, you delay your dreams and weaken your self-belief. On the other hand, every time you choose to act, even in small ways, you build trust with yourself. You prove that you value your goals and your future enough to act now. This trust becomes the foundation of self-confidence and inner strength. It is also important to remember that respecting time does not mean working every second without pause. Rest and relaxation are also valuable because they give us the energy to keep moving toward our dreams. What matters is intentional use of time. If you are resting, let it be rest that nourishes you. If you are working, let it be work that brings you closer to your goals. If you are spending time with others, let it be with people who uplift you. This way, every moment becomes purposeful and none of it feels wasted. When you begin to live with this mindset, you start seeing time as a reflection of self-worth. Your calendar, your choices, and your actions all tell a story about how much you respect yourself and your dreams. If the story is full of wasted hours, it shows neglect. If the story is full of effort, balance, and commitment, it shows love and respect. Ultimately, respecting time is about valuing your one life, your one chance to turn dreams into reality, and treating each moment as an investment in yourself. Use time wisely by focusing on what truly matters instead of distractions. Life is full of countless things that demand our attention every single day, from social media notifications to endless entertainment, from meaningless conversations to habits that drain our energy. Distractions are everywhere. They tempt us, they waste our hours, and they leave us wondering where all the time has gone. To live with purpose, it is important to recognize these distractions for what they are, thieves of time. Every time we give in to them, we are giving away precious moments that could have been used for something meaningful. Using time wisely is about choosing carefully, about separating what matters from what does not, and about ensuring that our actions align with our goals and values. When we think about what truly matters, it usually connects to things that build us as individuals, things that bring peace to our hearts, or things that take us closer to our dreams. These could be studying for our education, building a career, developing skills, spending quality moments with loved ones, or even nurturing our health. These activities add value to our lives, yet we often push them aside for the sake of quick pleasures. Watching another episode, scrolling endlessly, or gossiping might feel enjoyable for a short time, but they rarely contribute to our growth. If we step back and look at the bigger picture, we realize that hours wasted on distractions bring us no closer to who we want to be. Focusing on what truly matters is the only way to make sure that when we look back, our time was spent on something worth remembering. Time is like currency, and just as we would not throw away our money on useless things, we should not throw away our hours on distractions. Imagine having only a limited amount of money to spend. Would we spend it all on things that disappear in a moment, or would we invest it in something that grows and supports us in the future? Time works the same way. The more we invest it in meaningful actions, the richer our life becomes. Those who spend their time wisely are like people who save and invest their money. They see results, they see growth, and they feel secure. Those who waste it on distractions are like people who spend without thinking. They may feel enjoyment for a moment, but later find themselves empty-handed. The problem with distractions is that they are easy, while meaningful work requires effort. It is always easier to scroll through a phone than to open a book, easier to chat away than to practice a skill, easier to sit idle than to take action. But the easy path rarely leads to growth. The wise use of time often asks us to choose the harder path, to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term rewards. For example, preparing for an exam might feel tiring, but it builds knowledge and shapes the future. Practicing an art or learning a language might demand discipline, but it enriches life. Working on health or fitness requires patience, but it creates energy and confidence. These are things that matter, things that stay with us, and things that make our time valuable. Another aspect of using time wisely is recognizing that not everything urgent is truly important. Many times, distractions disguise themselves as urgent matters. A message, a notification, a sudden event can pull us away from what we were doing, and before we know it, hours have passed. But if we train ourselves to ask one simple question, does this really matter to my growth or happiness? We can protect our time. Learning to prioritize is key. Making a to-do list, setting goals, or even reminding ourselves daily of what matters most helps us stay on track. When we do this, our time flows into things that carry meaning instead of being lost in endless distractions. Using time wisely also means understanding balance. It does not mean that we should never relax, never laugh, or never enjoy small pleasures. It means that our relaxation should be chosen with awareness, not as an escape from responsibility, but as a way to recharge. A walk in nature, reading a book, spending time with a friend who uplifts us. These are not distractions, they are meaningful uses of time. They refresh our minds and make us stronger for the tasks ahead. The danger lies in unconscious distractions, the ones that eat away hours without us realizing, leaving us drained instead of fulfilled. The people we admire most, those who achieve their goals or live fulfilling lives, are not necessarily more talented than others, but they are often better at using their time wisely. They focus on what matters, cut out what does not, and dedicate themselves to consistent effort. Over time, their wise choices compound and their life becomes a reflection of purpose. This shows us that success is less about extraordinary talent and more about disciplined use of time. Every great achievement is built on small moments that were used wisely instead of wasted. At the end of the day, time is the foundation of life. Our dreams, our happiness, our growth all depend on how we choose to spend it. Distractions will always be present, but our power lies in the ability to choose where to place our focus. If we focus on what matters, our time turns into progress and meaning. If we allow distractions to control us, our time slips away unnoticed. Every moment we hold in our hands is an opportunity, and how we use it decides the shape of our future. Saying no to negativity and unproductive habits is a way of honoring your time. Every day we are surrounded by choices, and the way we respond to them shapes the direction of our lives. Some choices lead us toward growth, peace, and fulfillment, while others pull us into cycles of waste and regret. Negativity and unproductive habits are some of the biggest thieves of time because they consume not only hours but also energy, motivation, and joy. Learning to say no is not always easy, but it is one of the most powerful ways to protect our time and to show respect for ourselves. Negativity can come from many sources. It can be in the form of toxic relationships that drain our spirit, conversations filled with gossip or criticism, or even the negative thoughts we allow to run through our own minds. Spending too much time around negativity affects how we think and how we act. If we are constantly listening to complaints, arguments, or discouraging voices, we begin to absorb that energy and it slows us down. Hours spent on negativity are hours lost forever, hours that could have been used to build something meaningful. Saying no to negativity is not about being cold or uncaring. It is about valuing peace of mind and choosing environments that uplift instead of dragging us down. Unproductive habits are another silent way that time slips away. Procrastination, overuse of social media, aimless browsing, and careless routines are examples of habits that steal our focus. At first, they seem harmless, but slowly they grow into patterns that shape our lives. Each small moment wasted adds up to a significant portion of our time. The habit of delaying important tasks can lead to stress and missed opportunities, while constantly seeking short-term entertainment can keep us away from long-term growth. By saying no to these habits, we are not depriving ourselves of fun. We are choosing a wiser path where fun and relaxation exist in balance with responsibility and progress. Honoring time through discipline is an act of self-respect. It means understanding that your hours are precious and should not be spent on things that do not serve you. For example, imagine two people with the same dream. One chooses to spend hours every evening watching meaningless videos, while the other chooses to practice a skill or learn something new. Both may enjoy their time in the moment, but months later, their results will be completely different. The second person will be closer to their dream, while the first will wonder why nothing has changed. The difference is not talent, it is the choice to say no to unproductive habits and yes to meaningful action. Negativity and unproductive habits also influence our emotions. When we allow them into our lives, they create frustration, anxiety, and self-doubt. A person who spends hours in negative company often feels heavier and less motivated. A person who wastes time in unproductive routines often feels guilty or dissatisfied. These emotions weaken confidence and steal even more time because they make it harder to focus on what truly matters. On the other hand, when we create boundaries, when we say no to things that do not help us, we protect our energy and our happiness. That energy can then be invested in positive relationships, creativity, learning, and personal growth. It is important to understand that saying no is not selfish. Many people struggle with guilt when they set boundaries, but in reality, protecting your time is a form of self-care. By guarding your hours, you are ensuring that you have the strength and clarity to give your best to yourself and to others. Time is limited, and when it is wasted on negativity or unproductive patterns, it cannot be recovered. Saying no simply means you recognize that your life is too valuable to be consumed by things that hold you back. Another way of looking at it is through the idea of investment. Time is the most important investment we will ever make. Just as wise investors avoid putting money into things that lose value, wise people avoid giving time to negativity and unproductive habits. Instead, they invest in activities that bring returns, studying, working, building relationships, creating, or even resting with purpose. Every time you say no to something unproductive, you are saying yes to something greater. You are shifting your investment from loss to gain, from emptiness to fulfillment. The ability to say no also strengthens character. It requires courage to walk away from negative environments, to resist peer pressure, or to discipline oneself against bad habits. This courage builds inner strength and confidence, making it easier to continue choosing wisely in the future. With each decision to reject negativity, the mind becomes clearer, the spirit lighter, and the path forward brighter. Using time in meaningful ways creates a life of balance, peace, and purpose. This begins with awareness, recognizing when time is being wasted and having the strength to change it. It begins with understanding that not every invitation, not every trend, not every habit deserves your attention. Your time belongs to you, and only you can decide whether it is being honored or wasted. By saying no to negativity and unproductive habits, you protect your hours, your energy, and your dreams, turning your life into something that reflects value and self-respect. Small, consistent efforts with respect for time lead to big achievements. Many people imagine success as something that arrives suddenly, like a moment of magic, but in reality, it is the result of steady and disciplined use of time. Every great accomplishment is built on small actions repeated daily, and each of those actions is powered by respect for time. When we understand that time is not infinite, we begin to see how valuable even the smallest effort can be, because every step, no matter how small, adds up to something greater over days, months, and years. Consistency is the secret that transforms dreams into reality. A single hour of study, a short workout, a few lines of writing, or a small act of practice might not feel like much in the moment, but when repeated regularly, they create remarkable progress. The human mind often underestimates the power of small actions because we are impatient for quick results. We want to see change instantly, and when it does not come, we think our efforts are too small to matter. But success is like a building. Each brick seems small on its own, yet when stacked together carefully, they create something strong and lasting. Small, consistent efforts are those bricks, and respect for time is the foundation that holds them in place. Respecting time means not waiting for the perfect day or the perfect mood to start. It means using the moments you already have, no matter how limited they may seem. Someone who studies for half an hour daily may learn more in a year than someone who studies only once a month for hours at a time. Someone who practices a skill a little every day becomes much better than someone who practices only when inspired. This is because consistency turns actions into habits, and habits shape destiny. When we commit to small efforts regularly, they become part of our lifestyle, and progress happens naturally without constant struggle. The connection between time and achievement becomes clearer when we look at how successful people live. Most of them did not achieve greatness overnight. They respected their time by dedicating it to steady effort, even when results were invisible at first. An athlete trains daily, often in silence, long before anyone applauds their victories. An artist paints countless sketches before creating a masterpiece. A student spends quiet hours learning before standing confidently in exams. These stories remind us that big achievements are nothing more than the result of countless small moments that were not wasted. Another reason small, consistent efforts matter is that they prevent overwhelm. If we look at a dream in its entirety, it may feel too large, too far, or too difficult. But when we break it down into small steps and dedicate time to those steps daily, it becomes manageable. Respecting time means not rushing but trusting the process, knowing that progress will come if we continue steadily. Even a mountain can be climbed step by step, and even the greatest books are written word by word. By respecting each moment and each effort, we move closer to achievements that once seemed impossible. It is also important to remember that consistency builds discipline, and discipline strengthens character. Every time we show up, even for a small effort, we train our mind to stay committed. Over time, this consistency becomes a habit, and habits free us from constant decision making. Instead of wondering whether to act or not, we simply act because it has become part of who we are. This not only saves time but also keeps us moving steadily forward. In this way, respect for time and consistency work together, creating a cycle of growth that pushes us toward success. Small efforts also teach patience. In a world that constantly promotes instant results, patience becomes rare, yet it is one of the most valuable traits. Respecting time means understanding that real growth takes time and that every small effort contributes to that growth. Just like a seed takes months to become a tree, achievements take countless small moments to become visible. When we accept this, we stop looking for shortcuts and start valuing the daily effort itself. This mindset not only reduces frustration, but also gives us the strength to keep going, even when progress seems slow. Consistency with time also multiplies results. Just as money grows when invested regularly, efforts grow when practiced consistently. A single act might seem insignificant, but repeated daily, it becomes powerful. Reading 10 pages a day becomes several books in a year. Writing a few words each morning becomes a novel. And practicing a skill for minutes every day can lead to mastery. The secret lies not in the size of the effort, but in the respect for time and the dedication to keep showing up. Ultimately, small, consistent efforts with respect for time are the path to big achievements because they build progress step by step. They create habits that last, they prevent overwhelm, they strengthen character, and they multiply results in ways that often surprise us. By valuing each moment and committing to steady action, we honor both our time and our potential, and over the course of life, those small choices shape everything we become.